Hello students, I hope you all are healthy and safe at your home following the instructions of your parents. Today we will continue the chapter Microorganism, Friend and Foe. Topics to be covered in today's video will be protozoa, disease causing microorganisms in humans, vaccination, disease causing microorganisms in plants, and food preservation. Let's discuss about protozoa. Protozoa are single-celled microorganisms and are smallest of the microbes. They live mostly in water but sometimes in the soil too. The above given diagram shows some unicellular protozoans like amoeba, euglena, paramecium, etc. They obtain their nutrition by living inside the body of host as a parasite, and some obtain nutrition from dead and decaying matter as a saprophyte. That means they can live as parasite and saprophyte both. Protozoans reproduce by binary fission and spore formation. That means their mode of reproduction is asexual, which can be either binary fission, budding, spore formation. This is the process given here in the diagram of binary fission in amoeba. What is happening here? One cell of amoeba is single-celled organism, is splitting two daughter cells. This process of asexual reproduction is called binary fission. Let's discuss about useful protozoa and harmful protozoa. Protozoa has both the effect. It can be useful for organisms and harmful too. Therefore, let's discuss about useful protozoa first. As protozoa or protozoans are also known as zooplanktons. So, protozoans feed on algae to be eaten up by large animals and thus completing the food chain. They are helping in completing the food chain. They are one of the level of food chain which is helping in completing the food chain. Next is some of the protozoans live in the digestive tract of animals and help them digest cellulose in their food. They are here helping in the digestion of cellulose. They live in the digestive tract of animals and where they are helping in the digestion process of digestion. Now let's discuss about harmful protozoan. Protozoan like Entamoeba lives in the large intestine of human beings and causes dysentery. This protozoa is the cause for dysentery in human beings. Next protozoan Trypanosoma lives in a bloodstream of human beings and cattle and causes the disease known as sleeping sickness. Sleeping sickness to Trypanosoma. Next is malarial parasite, which is Plasmodium, lives in the red blood corpuscles of the human blood and causes malaria. So these are the useful and harmful effects of protozoan. Disease that can be spread from an infected person to a healthy person is called communicable diseases. They are caused by pathogens and that can enter the body through air we breathe, water we drink, and food we eat. Some insects and animals are carrier of the disease causing microbes, for example housefly and mosquito. Pathogens stick to the body of houseflies when they sit on garbage and animal excreta and get transferred onto the uncovered food the flies sit on. People who eat this contaminated food fall sick, and this table here tells us about the disease, the pathogen, mode of transmission and preventive measures. Diseases like tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is caused by the pathogen bacteria. Mode of transmission is air and personal contact, and preventive measures, preventive method is vaccination and isolation of the patient. Cholera is caused by bacteria. Mode of transmission is water, and preventive method is prevention of eating exposed food, drinking boiled water, personal hygiene. Typhoid is caused by bacteria too. A mode of transmission is water, and preventive method is good sanitary habits, drinking boiled water. Measles is caused by virus. Mode of transmission air and personal contact, and how can we prevent it? By vaccination and isolation of the patient. Hepatitis B is caused by virus too. Mode of transmission is water. Preventive method is vaccination, drinking boiled water. Malaria is caused by protozoa Plasmodium. Mode of transmission is mosquito, and preventive measure is prevention of breeding of mosquitoes, uses of mosquito nets, etc. Chickenpox is caused by virus. Polio is caused by virus. Transmission for both is air and personal contact. Vaccination is the preventive measure for both, and isolation of patient in chickenpox and vaccination of polio at a suitable age is the preventive measure for polio. These above discussed diseases are caused in humans by microbes. Let's discuss about vaccination now. Why it is done, how it helps, what are the uses, how it can be helpful for organisms. The body has its own mechanism of providing immunity. It produces antibodies to fight against foreign bodies. To enhance the immunity, vaccination is done. Therefore, the vaccination is done to enhance the immunity. You must have seen children being given polio drops and several injections. These are the forms of vaccination. A vaccine contains weakened or killed form of organisms. These, when enter the body, stimulates the body to produce antibodies and remember the microbe, so that when the body is again attacked by the same microbe, it can be killed completely and quickly. Several diseases can be prevented by vaccination, like diseases like tuberculosis, smallpox, cholera, hepatitis, etc. And you all must have known about this program, the Pulse Polio program, which has eradicated the occurrence of polio in our country, India. Some diseases caused by microorganisms in plants are citrus canker. It is caused by bacteria and is spread by air. Rust of wheat, it is caused by fungi and spread through air and seeds. Yellow vein mosaic of okra, it is caused by a virus and spread by insects. Diseases caused by microorganisms in animals are, few examples are anthrax, it is a fatal disease in humans and cattle caused by bacteria. Foot and mouth disease, it is disease that affects cattle and is caused by virus. And there are lots of other diseases which are caused by microorganisms, as we have discussed them earlier. The last topic which we have to cover in this video is food preservation. Food preservation essentially means longer retention of the nutritive values of perishable materials. The wastage of perishable food materials can be reduced by using appropriate methods and techniques of preservation. Why does spoilage of food takes place? This is because of the action of certain microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi. Thus, quality of potential food are wasted. In addition to spoilage of food, its nutritive value and quality is also affected. Consumption of spoiled food can cause food poisoning. Thus, it is important to protect food from spoilage. What are the advantages of food preservation? It reduces food wastage, availability of food supplies, especially out of season at every place, increasing the storage period of foodstuff, making up for dietary inadequacy. And what are the various methods for food preservation? This is given here: dehydration and sun drying, smoking, heating, using salt and sugar, oil and vinegar, various chemical methods, refrigeration and pasteurization. These are the methods by which we can preserve our food items. We can discuss them one by one. What is dehydration and sun drying? Removal of water from fruits and vegetables is called dehydration. Dehydration can be done by drying fruits and vegetables by removing their water content under controlled conditions and temperature and humidity. This helps in preservation of food. Smoking, it is used for dehydration of food items such as meat, fish and their products. In this process, small pieces of meat are first rubbed with salt and then hung from the ceiling or kept on wooden rafters. These pieces are then dehydrated with the heat and smoke on fire lit before. Heating is used for killing germs in milk at home. Using of salt and sugar for as food preservatives. The presence of high concentration of salt drains out water from food materials through a process called osmosis and prevents bacterial growth, which spoils the food. And how sugar can be helpful. Sugar syrup containing more than 68% sugar also stop bacterial growth, as a very less free moisture is available. Using oil and vinegar, you might have noticed oil and vinegar being used in preparation of pickles, chutneys, ketchups, etc. These preservatives do not allow the growth of microorganisms. Chemical methods, we can say chemicals which we can use, like sodium benzoate is used as preservative in jams and squashes. Refrigeration keeps the food at low temperature and inhibits the growth of microbes and prevents food from getting spoiled. Pasteurization. Milk is made germ-free by pasteurization. In this process, milk is heated at 70 degrees Celsius approximately for a few seconds and then is suddenly chilled and stored. This prevents the growth of microbes. These are the method which we discussed as for food preservation. By using these methods, we can preserve our food items and their nutritive value. I hope you all understood the topic explained, and that's all for the day. Thank you.